Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Weather Fans Live here on Sunday, the 25th of May 25. I hope you're all well. So, yeah, welcome to tonight's live show. It's just me, myself, and I tonight. This will be the last one for a week or two as I'm on holiday from next week. So, how's everyone doing? Let's pop our head into the comments. Just please forgive it this evening. I'm just always end of May. I'll just come down with some kind of cold or something. So I might sound a bit bunged up tonight. So I hope you're all well. It's probably why I look like crap tonight as well. Well, as well, I've been actually work today, hence why the earliest live stream. So the first person in tonight is Suit. So good evening to you, sir. Good evening to Urjo Coffee. Hope you're well this evening. Ash 31 Weather Station. Good evening, everyone really enjoyed last week. I can't remember it. I honestly can't remember it in a minute. Who else is with us this evening? Good evening to Andy from the UK. Hope you are well. And let me just click this. I think StreamYard had another update, so it might have the live comments up. So let's see what happens when I press that button. So let's see if your comments come in on the right-hand side. So this is a new feature StreamYard have just updated since last time I come on. So I'm not sure if the comments will appear on the right. So audio saying is loving the fact we finally had some rain. Yeah, I think we had about 6 or 7 millimeters. So it's a start, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Your comments are actually appearing there. So let's see how this works out. So it's a new feature from our StreamYard server. Unfortunately, my daughter's just woken up. Hope she's okay. Sue said a bird just hit his window. Oh, I hope it's okay. Audio said you can see it on the screen actually. We had a brief 5-minute spotty show on Tuesday. You could hear the ground absorbing the moisture. Ooh. So let's have a look at the latest one. Now, let's try and keep the chat thing, see how that goes. I'll give that a test tonight, shall we? If it gets too much in the way, then I'll turn it off and bring your comments up as and when. So let me just screen share. Just as I'm about to click onto the screen share, good evening to Paul James, our mod. Hope you're well. No notification. Yeah, sometimes that happens. I've had it before where my notification comes through the next day, which is no good when we're actually live the night before, is it? So let's put me off the screen there. So this is the latest radar. So we've got some showers crossing the country right now, and we've not seen this for a while. We've got the winds coming in off the Atlantic as I speak right now. So might even more. We've got high pressure towards our south and low pressure up towards Iceland. And we've got this westerly flow across the UK. So if I go for one of these cameras, let's zoom in a bit, see what's going on out there. So Taxel, so there's maybe a shower passing through there. A nice shot of perhaps a passing shower there in Panel. And and Levy Common. A few clouds around there. So yeah, these are rattling through at the minute. So let's bring that forward last hour or so. So yeah, these are moving eastwards. Not worth any lightning strikes in the last hour or so. Just double check this. So there's been 1 or 2 lightning strikes up towards the north of Carlisle. So might be an association. Just stop that feed just there. So it might be in association with possibly that cell just there. So there's been the odd rumble of thunder, but nothing too major to speak about. So let's bring on the pressure charts. So see what's happening right now. As I've already mentioned, got a call from that came through during I think it was June, yesterday afternoon actually. Let's swing that back. Apparently it's through the day today, but I've been at work, so I've not seen anything. I'm not sure there was any rain on it. So we've got that low pressure up towards the Faroe Islands at the moment. High pressure down towards the west of Iberia. Low pressure up towards Iceland. So we're in that flat westerly flow. So let's see what the synoptic charts are looking like. So as I mentioned, you've got high pressure towards west of Iberia, towards the Azores. Low pressure up towards north, bring these weather fronts through. We're in a westerly wind flow at the moment, which the wind's been quite breezy this afternoon, especially on my way home today. Then during the day tomorrow, we've got another little feature coming through, which will enhance some of the showers, potentially the low pressure forming out towards the west. What happens with that low onto Tuesday? That'll bring a spell of rain or showers across the UK overnight into Tuesday. And Tuesday itself, there could be a brief dry spell before more rain comes in towards the southwest during the day. On Tuesday, there might be some rain or showers affecting northern Scotland there, with that low pressure up towards the Faroe Islands. And low pressure stays in charge through into Wednesday as well with these weather fronts. Again, bring the spell of rain or showers. And as we're heading to Thursday, we're under a ridge of high pressure before it's like another spell of rain ready to move in through into Thursday itself. So let's take a look at the UKV. Sorry if I'm talking a bit quietly. My daughter's just woken up as I started the live. It sounds a bit unsettled, so I'll just keep my voice down a bit. So these are the precipitation from the UKV. So this is the high resolution model. So let's bring that forward up to now. So we've got some heavy showers expected across northern England and literally scattered the showers across Ireland and Scotland as well. These will continue in some parts during the night. So a few heavier bursts going there through more or less the central belt of Scotland. Elsewhere, a few showers can't be ruled out towards northern England for more band of organised showers moves in from the west, which will rattle through to Wales into Monday morning. These showers, maybe the odd rumble thunder, can't be ruled out, affecting northern England into Scotland as well, and southwest England. So these showers are expected mostly towards northwest England into Wales. Not too many coming over towards the eastern side of the UK, especially through the Midlands, East Anglia, southeast. So let's move that forward into the evening. So maybe 1 or 2 late afternoon, potentially. and perhaps more of a spell, maybe heavier burst of rain coming through Northern Ireland into Monday evening as well. And that progresses across the country. So there could be a spell. So that could be an association. I wonder if that's the low that the associated weather front's coming through actually, which was shown. So there'll be your warm front and your cold front there. So some places could see maybe a spell of rain or showers through the night from Monday into Tuesday. One or two showers behind that as that clears. Then we're going to Tuesday itself. Another spell of rain coming into southwestern areas, spreading through the Midlands during the day, and it looks quite a wet afternoon for North Wales into northwest England, and also looking like along the south coast as well onto Tuesday. And these could be heavy showers, so that's something we need to keep an eye on. I'll have a look at the cable lifted to see if the GFS is in agreement with that. So that could be an interesting spell of weather down towards the south coast there. Showing quite some bright echoes along that, so we'll have a look in a moment. That crosses northern England, well, from much of England and Wales really. Looks like Scotland will spare the brunt of all that wet weather, which obviously is needed for many areas. Well, rephrase that, all areas of the country. And through into Wednesday morning, show like a line of maybe convergence line there through parts of Wales, through the Midlands into Norfolk. And that continues to progress southwards and fragment into a few heavy showers through the day into Wednesday. And going into Thursday, another band of heavy rain expected across Northern Ireland into parts of the west. That progresses northeastward, so it looks like there'll be a band of heavy rain heading up towards Scotland, affecting also these western areas as well. Maybe bands of heavy showers there affecting Wales, perhaps northwest England. Also crossing the country through the early hours of Thursday before pushing out into the North Sea during the afternoon into Thursday. Again, potentially some showers affecting Wales, northwest England again. So it's definitely a much wetter spell than we've seen of late over the last few years, it feels like. I'm just going to pop my head back into the comments, see how everyone is. So excuse me a second while I just blow my nose for about the 80th time this evening. So let's just scroll that just down a bit. Who else has come in this evening? So I'm not sure how big those comments are looking on your screens at home. They said the comments popping up on the bottom right is a new feature just been added by the StreamYard team. So let's scroll back to the top of the comments. Good evening to Anne Smith. Hope you are well this evening. Anne's got a very heavy gusty shower moving through at the moment. Who else is with us? Our yellow living friend is here. Good evening to you, Rachel. Hope you're well today. Audio said there's some, shall say, nice big fat chunky raindrops. I think it's been quite dry here in the Midlands today. I'm not aware of any showers during the day. So unless it's happened when I've been at work. Susie is saying I've had 2 to 3 showers today. We need more of the rain. However, it was 30 to 40 miles per hour gust today, so interesting day today. Yeah, it's definitely been a nice change. Oh, one's got a nice rainbow, by the way. So he's mentioned that the sea surface temperature in the UK are about 5 degrees above average, which is insane. Good evening to Matthew. Hope you're well this evening. Are you just gone holder? Have you come back from your holder? I can't remember, to be honest. If you just come back from your holiday, I hope you enjoyed it. Oh yes, Matthew has been on the holiday. I've just seen your comments now saying you just got back home. And Matthew saying it's been dry here today. Yeah, same here as far as I'm aware. So let's take a look. You're back now and it was very enjoyable. Oh, good. Hope you enjoyed your break. As I mentioned, this will be the last live stream for possibly a week, unless one of the members of the team are going to do it next week. Because I'm actually away for about 5 days from next Monday, but I've got too much going on next Sunday to do a live stream, so there'll be no live stream from me. But I'm unaware if one of the other team members will be doing the live next week, but we shall see. Right, let's have a look at the latest GFS. So let's get that onto the screen, see what the latest GFS model is showing. Let's bring on the sea level pressure charts. So what is the latest from the lunchtime run of the GFS showing? So low pressure, as mentioned, up towards Iceland. High pressure over the Azores as usual. And we're going to see spells of rain and showers coming across the UK. This is hinting more high pressure towards the southeast, so it could be drier towards the southeast. So this has got high pressure building towards southern counties. So there's a bit of a disagreement there, actually. This is keeping low pressure a bit further towards the west compared to what we're seeing with the UKV model. So high pressure towards the southeast, low pressure up towards the northwest. As we head through to next weekend, then we'll start to see hints there as we go into this time next week of the Azores high extending across the UK into the start of next week, which will turn things much drier. But low pressure up towards Iceland there, which maybe far northwest of Scotland, Northern Ireland, could see a spell of rain or showers come through. And also there could be a weather front trying to get into that high pressure through into the middle of next week, which could get stalled looking at that. So we've got high pressure out towards the east and low pressure out towards the west. Have a look at the upper areas in just a second. So it looks like high pressure is trying to keep low pressure up towards Iceland, and so it looks like it could be a potentially east-west split there with high pressure towards the east and low pressure towards the west. And this little feature is just stopping the trucks then, which could be quite interesting if that was to move northwards. So let's have a look at the upper areas and see what these are showing. So the 850. So under relatively cool air, much fresher than what we've seen, what feels like for months, doesn't it? So let's have a look. Thursday could be a bit of a warming there with that build of high pressure there towards the south. So could we see a bit of warm there? We've got 50-degree iceberg not too far towards the south there, over towards Normandy. So could that turn things warmer towards the southeast? Could it turn a bit more humid? Okay, it will be interesting to see. Could that trigger off a few heavy showers maybe for the weekend? So there's that ridge of high pressure trying to move in, but it's under cooler air. So it won't feel exactly roasting, shall we say. There's that low pressure trying to bring that weather front down. We'll have a look at the precipitation on that as well. So potentially a weather front could get stored across parts of the UK. And that low pressure is close to the UK towards northwest. It could be the case of northwest southeast split during the back end of next week. And we start to see that hint there of heat really building up towards Iberia. But does that head our way or does that stay towards the south? A bit of a hint there, could get quite close before. Well, actually, it could get quite close to the UK, so that'd be interesting to see if that brings up any hot and humid air. So let's have a look at the low-res precipitation on this. So don't take all this blue as all rain. It could be in the form of showers. So a few showers tomorrow expected, with a longer spell of rain perhaps going through northern England through tomorrow. And Tuesday again, an agreement with the UK V model. It's like a spell of heavy rain, perhaps heading towards Wales, moving eastwards during the day through Tuesday. So that will move eastward during the day on Tuesday. So it could potentially be a washout through Tuesday, which is much needed for the gardeners and growers, especially. So some showers expected through into Wednesday. And another spell of rain towards northwest England, parts of the Midlands into Wales. So into Thursday, and this is when this starts bringing up that high pressure up from the south. So into Friday, it's looking dry for many away from northwestern areas. And looks like a risk of some showers maybe popping up there through the night into Saturday morning, with maybe some heavy showers there, maybe for parts of the Midlands into Lincolnshire. They'll scoot away during the day on Saturday. And through down Sunday, again, some showers maybe for western areas, dry towards the southeast. And then into next Monday, potentially could see some heavy showers breaking out towards Wales, parts of the Midlands, southwest England, through some southern counties, and parts of Scotland as well, before fading away during the night. Then during Tuesday, with that low pressure towards northwest, there's that weather front which was mentioned. Is that going to bring a weather front down from the northwest? Well, I think it could be one. I think it could be one of these cases where it moves into that high pressure and starts to disintegrate. So quite a heavy band of rain actually coming in towards northwestern areas. It looks like it starts to fragment as it comes into that high pressure. So some northwestern areas will see some rain, but yet it will start to fragment into days 10 and 11. There's potential there of risk of some heavy showers, possibly thunderstorms moving up from the south there and overnight to Thursday. Another spell of rain coming towards northwest in areas through Thursday into Friday. Again, looks like weakening as it comes across the country. And we'll leave that as far as there, because we're already on to days 12 and 13 already. Let's take a look at the Cape and Lifted. Because I think with this run, it looks quite interesting towards the back end of this week. So yeah, it was a tiny bit of Cape and Lifted during the day today. I've seen one or two runs of thunder, nothing too insignificant today. Let's have a look through into tomorrow. Some of these showers maybe for northern Scotland could have the rumble of thunder amongst these. And into Tuesday, we've got that spell of heavy rain crossing the country. I don't see anything embedded among that. Let's have a look into Wednesday. So nothing expected of perhaps thunderstorm at all. Then Thursday was that potential of some showers breaking out towards the southeast and very minimal. I can't rule out the other rumble of thunder if any showers break out towards the southeast. But Friday, if any Was there any shows expected actually showing on this for Friday afternoon? No. So we've got the Cape. Again, it's the classic case of you can have all the energy and lifted, but there's no trigger at all. So we've got all that energy, but nothing to set it off, set fire to it, set it off. So it's just that classic case of got the energy, but nothing will set their shells off. So let's go back to cable lifted. Lost it. Found it. So through to next. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Okay. That's very, very interesting for next Saturday. Was there any precipitation shown with that? Yes. So potentially, if this to come off, Saturday could be very interesting indeed. That is very interesting indeed for next Saturday if that was to come off. We're not seeing the reds like that for a while on the charts. Let's go back to that chart there. Not sure if the team are aware of that, but they are now. So is that bringing up the temperatures as well with that? Is the hot and humid day? Yes, there is. So look at those temperatures for that day up into the upper teens. So the heat could trigger off some big thunderstorms if it was to come off. Wow. It's been a while since I've seen charts like that. So at the minute, this is showing if it was to come off mainly for perhaps Lincolnshire, if any storms were to break out, parts of Midlands, East Midlands into possibly around the Lincolnshire area to perhaps Norfolk. So that's a storm risk at the moment for Saturday. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on that close to the time. Hopefully it's still there, but it's very promising. Not seeing that for a very long time. We'll go as far as next Sunday. With this latest, the odd rubber thunder can't be ruled out with that. So that is very interesting for perhaps next Saturday, but as we know, a lot of things happen between now and next weekend. So stay tuned for that. So let me just put my head back into the comments. Let's put my head back into the comments. See how far we're got up to. Oops, God, there's been a lot of comments tonight. I hope everyone is well. Who else has come with us this evening? So we've said hello to Matthew already. Let's go down, go down, go down. Good evening to Ben, who's had a chicken dinner. Hope it's very nice. Matthew's saying, bit of a shock getting off the plane at Stansted in t-shirt and flip-flops, very cold at 6 degrees. Oh, would that been, was it Friday morning? I think we had a bit of a chilly start in the UK. Good evening to Steffi. Hope you're well this evening. Suit's saying, is there a chance of thunderstorms in the start of summer? Well, from what we've just seen then, possibly, but we'll have to see what the other models are suggesting. But that was a good sign there from the GFS 12Z run, wasn't it? This time from mostly eastern areas. BSHZ 4561. I've heard there's some bad thunderstorms possible next week. Is this true? Well, from what we've just seen with that latest GFS model, there's a potential there for Saturday, but in weather terms, it's just still a long way off as yet until it gets close to the dates, but we shall see. We'll have a look at the ECMWF in just a second, see if it's got some kind of agreement. Unless it's just a GFS on a outlier at the moment. Scroll down your comments. I was saying lots of cake, but was there any lift? We need to see a bit of lift on that. I'll just double check that. So that was next Saturday. So yes, -7 there. So if we were to see anything, if those thunderstorms break out, we'll definitely know about it in this kind of setup. Got the heat, humidity there. You've got the how much we've got. We're looking around about 16 to 1800 kilojoules of energy there, plus a -7 lift. So, well, it's what we like to see. Like to see if we want a good bloody thunderstorm or dire. But the right things have got to come together. But we shall see. We shall see. And I didn't share the screen, did I? Good evening to Michelle Graham. Even though it's probably hello. I'm green after my 12 hours and everyone ending work. You've been at work as well today. It's not good on a Sunday, is it? I've been there myself today. Thankfully, I've got 4 more days left at work before my holiday starts, so I can't wait. Scroll down the screen. Goodbye to Suits. Thank you for joining this evening. He's off to have his, I'm guessing it's after his tea, so I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Take care, my friends. Thank you for popping in. So, right, let's have a look at the ECMW. Oh, wrong chart. That's the wrong one. Bring in ECMWF. Let's take myself off the screen. You do not need a holiday suit. Well, saying that, so not suit, Matthew. Saying that sometimes you do feel like you need a holiday after a holiday, didn't you? Where's my tab? So, yeah. So give me a second while I blow my nose again. I'm going to split. I thought I was showing myself blow my nose on the screen then, which wouldn't have been nice for everybody. So yeah, let's have a look at the latest from the ECMWF. So again, like all the models shown right now, low pressure towards the north, high pressure over towards the Azores. Through into tomorrow, that remains the case. So it's just let's see if it's going to be in agreement with the GFS, where it brings high pressure up towards the southeast through into Thursday, Friday. So Wednesday, it's got that ridge of high pressure building already towards the south there through Wednesday. Friday, low pressure towards the north, which could bring a spell of rain through parts of England and Wales, Scotland, through the UK, through into Thursday. So let's see if it has another go at building that ridge across the UK on Friday, and it does. It's like more of an influence compared to the GFS. So more high pressure it's like it's building up from the southwest through into Friday. Does that remain there for the next few days? No, actually, low pressure moves back in towards the northwest through into Saturday, and is showing low pressure towards northwest through into next Sunday. And it's not exactly what I want to see on my first day of my holiday, but low pressure into the North Sea will bring this cool northwesterly wind down. If I bring back to Saturday, where, one day too far. Saturday, it's got that bit of a new potential there towards the southeast, ahead of this low pressure. So has that got temperatures up there? It's not going to show me, is it? No. Okay, let's go back to the pressure. So Monday, low pressure in charge of the weather. Rain or showers expected. And I would say a bit more of a dry spell, perhaps more shower up towards the northeast of Scotland into Tuesday. And low pressure, another area of low pressure moves in from the west into Wednesday. So it's almost like just in between. Could have a couple of days of dry weather before more low pressure moves in again. So it's looking a bit perhaps cool and settled actually into next week. And speaking of ECMWF, let's flip that over towards the weekly mean sea level pressure charts. Oh, hello. What have I done there? Have I knocked the screen share off? Have I been talking and I've kept it all off? Or has that just knocked itself off? Good evening to James. Oh no, not another cold. It's actually the first one in a while, but I'm feeling a bit tonight. I always seem to get something at end of May. Seems like it's every year, end of May, I always seem to come down with something. And there's a certain type of pollen at the end of May, I just do not know. It always seems to be the back end of May. Steffi says, Laura J says, hello to everyone. She's on her way home, low on battery, so cannot listen to other fans. Thank you so much for that. I was going to say comment. Yes, comment, Steffi. Say hello from weather fans from us. Oh, the bad cough from last time. Oh, I think I had something bad. I think it was November. I had it for about a month or so. I just could not shift. I'm just hoping it's going to be like a few day thing, so I don't have this next week while I'm on holiday. Right, let's have a look at the ECMWF, and we'll then move on to America. So these are the mean sea level pressure charts, what we look at every week from the ECMWF. So this is from the 26th of May to the 2nd of June. And literally right now, it's this exact setup we've got now. Low pressure up towards the Faroe Islands and Iceland. High pressure down towards the south. 2nd of June towards the 9th of June. And that continues that trend really. Still low pressure up towards the north. High pressure towards the south. Bringing more this westerly flow. Then the 9th of June to the 16th of June has high pressure across the UK, settling things down. 16th of June to the 23rd of June continues with high pressure across the UK. 23rd to the 30th, there's no clear signal there, so it could be just an average kind of pressure. And at the back end, we've got low pressure down towards the south. So that would be bringing in more of a perhaps east northeasterly feed actually with this. So there could be high pressure up here, low pressure. Could we be dragging in warmer air off the continent? We shall see. Let's have a look at the precipitation on the same models. So no surprise, with low pressure above the UK. We've got Western average across the UK from the 26th of May towards the 2nd of June. And we're looking more average from the 2nd of June to the 9th, perhaps slightly wetter towards the northwest of the UK. 9th of June to 16th, we're looking drier than average. Likewise for the 16th to 23rd, maybe average to slightly drier towards the south. The 23rd to 30th of June, we're looking around about average to slightly drier than average. And no clear signal there. Look perhaps for average there for the 30th to the 7th of 30th of June to the 7th of July. And finally, the 2 meter temperatures. For this coming week, we are looking slightly above average, perhaps average towards Scotland and parts of northwest England. Then the 2nd of June towards 9th of June, we're looking warmer than average. And again for the 9th to 16th of June, and for the 16th to the 23rd, and literally towards the end of this run, we're looking above average temperatures. So yeah, what this is showing then is potentially this week and next week we could be under influence of more low pressure. Or things could be turning drier towards the 2nd week of June. Right, let's stop sharing that a second and head back into the chat. James is saying it would be nice to have a summer with just average temperatures, nothing slightly above or below. No, this is the UK, will never happen. We do not need yellow snow. Yes, it's like the high pressure does really turn. I think potentially this wetter spell was expected for about a week, but it looks like it's perhaps extending a little bit longer, but we shall see. Hot August? I don't think so. I still think we're expecting a pattern flip soon. And I'm still guessing around about middle of July, but we shall see in due course. Well, sometimes for pattern change, you perhaps need a big storm to knock the perhaps jet stream, which brings us on nicely to the National Hurricane Center. So we're about to start the hurricane season for 2025. That starts next Sunday, in fact, the National Hurricane Center for the Atlantic. But the Pacific has already started about 10 days ago. And let's share the screen there. Let's have a latest for the National Hurricane Center. So for the next 7 days, nothing is expected across the Atlantic or the Caribbean Sea. But going to the Eastern Pacific, and we're seeing our first signs of potentially looking at our first storm of the season. So what we've got here is showers and thunderstorms are located 700 miles south of the coast of southern Mexico remain disorganized. Conditions appear favorable for additional development, and a tropical depression is likely to form in the next few days while the system moves generally west and northwestwards at around 10 miles an hour. So the formation chance in the next 48 hours is at 10%, and the chance in the next 7 days is at 80%. So perhaps by the middle of the week, we could be seeing our first Northern Hemispheric storm of the season. And if it does get named, I believe from what the members of the team were saying to me, it would be called Alvin. I'll let you get on the Chipmunks theme stuck in your head as well, which I did for a few hours. Just give me a second while I just blow my nose yet again. And there's our Paul, you little monkey. And all right, while we're in America, let's have a look at the latest from the storm situation, and we'll perhaps start wrapping up for this week. So today's risk, we are waiting for it to load the screen, which will be helpful eventually. Okay, let's refresh that page then. There we go. That should be on the screen now. Yep. So this is the risk for today. So we've got 2 areas of enhanced. That'd be 3 out of 5 on the severe risk. So in this enhanced risk, we've got 5.6 million people in the area, and surrounding them, we've got nearly 17 million people on the slight risk, and in the marginal, we've got over 36 million people. So this is the setup right now. And there's an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms across the southern plains and the mid-south Tennessee Valley. So severe thunderstorms, including the risk of very large hail, swathes of severe winds, isolated 75 mile per hour gusts, and a few tornadoes are expected across parts of southern plains this afternoon and evening, include northwest Texas, southern central Oklahoma. Scattered severe thunderstorms with large hail and damaging winds will also be a concern across the mid-south Tennessee Valley and other parts of the southeast. So I'm not too sure if Ryan Yule is live tonight, but do check him out if he is live. No doubt he'll have some chase outs with this. So let's have a look at tomorrow's risk. So tomorrow's risk is a slight risk, which with just over 12 million people in that risk area. So not a severe, so it's just literally 2 out of 5 on the severity level at this stage. Day 3, we're looking at a smaller risk, just affecting less than 100,000 people actually in that slight risk, and there's a large marginal risk which affects over 34 million people. So again, those are just a slight risk of any severe weather. And currently day 4 to 8, so nothing for day 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 at this stage. Obviously, this could get upgraded during the next few days. So let's bring that back to today. So I think the big threats really of this week, at least up to perhaps midweek, we're looking at today. Right. I think that's covered what we normally cover on a Sunday. Paul is saying that Reed and Co are out tonight in Texas and Oklahoma tonight. So check out the live stream. I'm just checking if Ryan Yule's live tonight, actually, while I'm sat here. Is he live today? He's not live at the moment. Watch this space. I'm not sure if he is going live or not. What's going on with this? I'm trying to flick up the comments here, but it's double tapping instead. It's the blue. So everything's gone blue on one side. Is it normal to have a storm this early in the season? I've not really tracked it before, so I don't know what class is normal. Well, the hurricane season starts from the 15th in the Pacific side, so there's always that potential that you could get a few early ones. Just I'm not sure how strong it's going to get. Could be just a weak kind of storm, but we shall see in the next few days. But the National Hurricane Centre have said that the Atlantic is expected to be slightly above average for hurricanes and tropical storms this season. Right. Yep. Let's send the stream there. So yes, thank you all for watching this live stream tonight. Thank you to our mods, PJ and Paul. It's my old age kicking in. I'm forgetting things already. Yeah, Paul James. Sorry, PJ and James. Sorry, Paul James. Oh, I'm going in a minute. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I will not be live next week. I'm not too sure if members of the team will be live next week. I'm going to have a nice break, nice holiday next week. So take care of yourselves, and I shall see you in the next couple of weeks or three. Maybe next. I should be back in a couple of weeks or so. So I'll see you all soon. Thank you all for watching. And as Steffi just said, it's time to roll those credits. Thank you all for watching, guys. Take care and see you soon. Ta-ra for now.